Victoria Justice has broken her silence about her experience with Dan Schneider and Nickelodeon. As most of us probably know, Victoria was one of the biggest stars on Nickelodeon thanks to her roles on Zoey 101 and Victorious. And earlier this year, the docuseries Quiet on Set was released, where several former Nickelodeon stars shared their experience about the toxic and abusive environment they endured behind the scenes. And this week, in an article at Mary Claire, Victoria Justice shared her thoughts on the documentary as well as reflecting on her time on Nickelodeon. She said that the documentary made very clear that Dan had a massive ego, and that sometimes his ego would cloud his judgment and affect the way he treated people, saying, quote, "There were times I felt like I was being treated unfairly." She also believes that she's one of the people that Dan Schneider owes an apology to, saying, quote, "I would say I'm definitely one of the people on the list." And she had this to say about him: "I am not condoning any of his behavior. At the end of the day, my relationship with Dan is a very complex one. I met him when I was 12 years old, and he's the person that gave me this big break. He completely changed my life. Most likely, I wouldn't be here where I am today if it weren't for him and for him seeing something in me. For that, I will always be grateful." After watching his apology, I think he recognizes he did a lot of things wrong, and I think if he could step back into a time machine, he would do a lot of things differently.